Alright, so in this video I'm going to continue what I started last week, and last week I made a video where I renamed every single Pokemon in the Kanto Pokédex, or the first original 151 Pokemon. So in this video I'm going to be doing that again, except this time it's with the Johto Pokemon, so all of the Pokemon introduced in Gold and Silver, or Gen 2. So I'm going to start renaming them now, obviously with Chikorita, because that's where the Johto Pokédex starts. So here you can see I renamed it to Leafing, combining the words leaf and thing, because I'm not sure if it's supposed to be any specific animal, so I just called it a thing, and has a leaf on its head, so it's Leafing. Bayleaf I named Throwbud, because it has buds on its throat, so that's where you get that one. Meganium I named Gerapod, because apparently the flower around its neck is called a geranium. That's where its normal name comes from, with the neum at the end, but I took the first part and added the word sauropod to the end, which is like the long neck dinosaurs, and you get Gerapod. Cyndaquil I called Echidna, combining Echidna and Kindle. I think that comes together pretty well, and I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be an Echidna or a porcupine or something, or a shrew, but Echidna is what I called this one. Quilava I called Burmine because it kind of looks like an ermine, which is this thing, and I just added the word burn to it, so you get Burmine. Typhlosion is now Tremarson, or Tremarson, which takes the word arson, which is like to burn stuff intentionally, and then Monotreme, which is like the scientific name for porcupines, I think, so you get Tremarson. Totodile is now Pudile, combining the words puddle and crocodile. Croconaw is Lakroc, combining lake and croc from crocodile. Feraligatr is now Crococean, taking crocodile, the croco part, and then adding it to ocean, Crococean. Sentret is now Scoutail, because I'm pretty sure it's called the Scout Pokemon, or at least in its Pokédex description it says it scouts stuff, and it has a tail that it stands on, so combine those and you get Scoutail. Furret is now Nimblong, because I'm pretty sure it's called the Nimble Pokemon, or at least that's what its dex description says, and it's long, so you get Nimblong. Hoothoot is Strigoon, or Strigone, I guess you would pronounce that, which combines Strigine, which is like the scientific word for owls, and then one. Or I guess you would pronounce that Strigon, or Strigon, kind of like pigeon, except it's not a pigeon. Anyway, Noctowl is Browbo, which takes Bubo, which I'm pretty sure is the scientific name for a great horned owl, and then Brow, because it has big eyebrows. Ladybug is now Ladybur, because, you know, Ladybug just comes from Ladybug, but ladybugs are also called ladybirds, so just change it up a little bit and call it Ladybur instead of Ladybug. Ladyin is now Coxastar, which takes the word Coccinellidae, which is like scientific word for ladybugs or something, and then star because it kind of has to do with stars in its dex descriptions. Spinarak is now Arakhorn, taking arachnid and horn. Ariados is now Aracheet, combining arachnid and sheetweaver. A sheetweaver is like this red spider, and Ariados is red. Crobat is now Carapace, taking Chiroptera, which is like bats, and pace because it's fast. Chinchou is now Bubbleb, combining bubble and bulb. Lantern is Lampfish, combining lamp and fish. Pichu is now Electru, combining electric and shrew, and I did that because I named Pikachu Electrodent and Raichu Electrat. So just kind of keeping that flow going. Cleffa is now Cosmologia, and I did that because in my other video I named Clefairy and Clefable Astronoma and Astrologia, so it's just taking now 3 different space studies and adding an A instead of a Y. Igglybuff is now Bayball, combining baby and ball, but it also kind of comes into the word babble, or it looks like that, and that's kind of what babies do, so that worked together well. Togetic is now Half-Light, combining happy and flight, because it's a happy Pokemon and it flies. Okay, Togepi disappeared for some reason. I should probably mention that real quick. I called it Yolkel, combining yolk and shell. Not sure where the picture went, but yeah. Natu is now Psychic, taking psychic and chick, and you essentially just add a K to the end, and that works together well. Xatu is Gazeeg. I think that sounds kind of cool, and it combines gaze and eagle, because it gazes into the future, and it's like a bird. Mareep is Watwool, combining Wat and Wool. Flaffy is now Fleecirk, combining Fleece and Circuit. Ampharos is now Aerizap, combining Aries, like the zodiac sign, and Zap. Bellossom is now Hulili, combining Hula and Lily. Marill is now Aquaus, combining Aqua and Mouse. And Azumarill is now Aquabit, combining Aqua and Rabbit. Sudowoodo is now Bonsham, combining Bonsai, which is like that small tree thing, and Sham, which means like fake, because it's a fake tree. Politoed is now Ribic, combining Ribbit and Lick. I didn't really know what else to do with this one, honestly. Hoppip is now Heliclove. Clove is some kind of plant thing, and its leaf on its head spins like a helicopter blade, so helicopter and clove, Heliclove. Skiploom is now Floatle. Kind of sounds like Floatzel, which is already a Pokemon, but it's combining Float and Petal. Jumpluff is now Dandeliep, combining Dandelion and Leap. Sunkern is now Helioseed, combining Helios, which is like a sun god in Greek mythology or Roman or something, and Seed. And then Sunflora is Heliosprout. Yana is Damselane, because it's like a dragonfly, but I'm pretty sure there's also something called a damselfly, which is like a dragonfly. And then Plane, because it looks like a plane, kind of, so Damselane. Wooper is now Axooz, so I was trying to find a word to replace mud, and I said ooze, and that kind of made me think of poison more than it did mud, but I just kept it anyway, and its new name Axooz, because, like, Paldean Wooper is poison type, so I guess in this universe, Paldean Wooper came first, and it was called Axooz first. And then Quagsire is Salamud, like mud, salamander. Espeon is Mindomal, and I did that because in my first video, I named all of the original 3 evolutions with the word M, or the letters M-M-A-L at the end, like mammal, because they're all just mammals. But this one is Mindomal, because it's psychic type. And then Umbreon is Lunamol, like lunar or moon. Murkrow is Ravitch, like Raven Witch. Slowking is Crownum, like crown and dumb. I don't know if it's actually dumb or not. Probably not, because it's a psychic type, but Slowpoke is, so yeah. Misdreavus is now Banshmal, combining Banshee and Small, because that's kind of what it is. Now, I was originally going to call Unknown Alphabet, but then I remembered that that's like a cereal or something, so I just called it Sexicon. And that sounds kind of weird saying it, but it combines section and lexicon. Lexicon, I think it's like somewhat a synonym for alphabet. So it's just a section of the alphabet, essentially. Wobbuffet is just Boxa Bag. Just kind of like boxing bag, but as one word. Pineco is now Binecone, taking the B from bagworm, or just even the word bug, and adding it to pinecone. And Fortress is now Bagfern, so it's like the word bagworm, but you take the beginning of furnace, because it's a steel type, and I guess you make metal stuff in a furnace. Dunsparce is now Suchid, because it's based on this creature called a Suchinoko, but it's stupid, so Suchid. Gligar is now Scorpion, combining Scorpion and Canyon, because it's a ground type. Steelix is now Ferrous Snake. Ferrous is in, like, made of iron, or has to do with iron, and then it's a snake, so that works out pretty well. Snubble is now Rot Smile, like Rottweiler, but with smile, because it's a fairy type, and it's supposed to be like a happy dog thing, even though it doesn't look like it, so Rot Smile. And then Gramble is now Woofficial, because it's like woof, like a dog, and Superficial, because it looks angry, but it's actually like a good Pokemon, so you'd be superficial about it, I guess. Quillfish is now Blowwave, as in blowfish and wave, because it's a pufferfish or a blowfish. Scissor is Magnus, and this combines... I was trying to find some metal to combine with Mantis, and the only one I could get was Magnesium. And then combining that, it came into Magnus, and then I realized that that's kind of just a misspelling of Magnus with a U instead of an I, which I'm pretty sure is a Greek word, and it means strong, or like powerful or something, so that kind of works out well. Shuckle is now Endorm, because it's apparently based on an endolith, which is a little creature that lives in a rock, and I also just threw the word worm in there to get Endorm. Heracross is Suplest, combining Suplex and Pest, and you're probably wondering where I got Suplex from. I took it from Kirby, because in Kirby Star Allies, if you get the copy ability from the Bugsy guy, you get this power called Suplex, and he is essentially just a fighting bug thing, like Heracross. So yeah, that's that one. Sneasel is Kamice, and I got that from mixing ice with Kamaitachi, which is some Japanese yokai thing. It's like a weasel with knives for claws. That's apparently what Sneasel is based off of. Teddiursa is now Rosa Plush, because, you know, it has Teddy in its first, or in its normal name, and teddy bears were named after Teddy Roosevelt or whatever, so take the other part of his name, Roosevelt, and just add it to Plush, Rosa Plush. And then Ursaring is now Horribernate, which takes Horribilis, which is part of the grizzly bear scientific name, and Hibernate, because that's what bears do. Slugma is now, okay, I don't know what happened to this picture, oops. Slugma is now Gastrahot, like gastropod and hot, because like slugs and snails are called gastropods, and then Magcargo is Gastrocano, like gastropod and volcano. This is one of my favorite ones. Swinub is now Pigloo. That one was just kind of bound to work out like that, because it's like an ice-type pig thing. And then Piloswine is Mastodirt, like Mastodon, like a woolly mammoth, and dirt, because it's a ground type. Corsola is now Pincoral, because it's just pink coral. Remoraid is Pistofin, because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be based off a pistol, and it has fins, so Pistofin. And then Octillery is Turritant, as in turret and tentacle mixed together. Delibird is Pangule. Yule is like an old word for Christmas, I think, and, you know, it's kind of like Santa or whatever, and it's a penguin, so. Mantine is Mantere, and that sounds like it's combining Manta and air, but it's actually like airplane, because I'm pretty sure it's supposed to be based off an airplane or like a bomber jet or something with the Remoraid on it as like a gun. And then there's Skarmory, which I called Glossspray, combining Osprey, which is like a bird of prey, with Glossy, because it's metal. Houndour is Macabre, which is like the word macabre or macabre, however you pronounce that, which means like evil or scary or something like that. And then it adds the word cur into there. Cur is just like a bad or angry dog. And then Houndoom is Mechaniber, which is the same word macabre, but with canine, because that's what a dog is. Then you have Kingdra, which I call Dracehorse, because it's just a dragon seahorse, so Draco Horse. Fanfi is now Truncute, like trunk and cute. Donphan is Sheelephant, because it's like an elephant with a shield on its back, so Sheelephant. Porygon 2, in my Kanto video from last week, I called Porygon Progroose, as in like goose, because it kind of looks like a goose. Not really, but it kind of looks like a bird, and a goose is a bird. And then Progress, because it's like a digital thing. So I took that, instead of just calling it Progroose 2, I incorporated the word 2 into the name of my version of Porygon to get Protoose. Then Stantler is Paranormoose, because it has like magic antlers or something, and it's a deer, but you could also see it as a moose, I guess. You get Paranormoose. Smeargle is now Artail, you know, just art and tail mixed together. Tyrogue is Practackle, as in practice and tackle, you know, because he's training to evolve into one of the 3 fighting dudes, and he'll tackle you, I guess. And Hitmontop is Gyrosalt, like the word gyrate, which means to rotate, because he's a top, and then assault, because he'll attack you, because he's fighting type. Smoochum is now Kissense, because in its dex entries it says it kisses stuff as like its first way to sense things or something, so yeah, Kissense. Elekid, I called Outlettle, because, you know, it has a charger on its head, and that goes into an outlet, and then just put the word little in there. Magmy is M-Bump, because it spits embers and has bumps on its head. Miltank is Attrition, as in utter, and nutrition, because apparently its milk is nutritious, according to the dex. Blissey, or is that what this thing is? I forget. Okay, I called it Nurse Egg, because it's a nurse, and it has an egg. Raikou is Denkilo, which takes the word Denki, if I pronounce that right, which is Japanese for thunder, or electric. And then it also incorporates the word the beginning of the word kilowatt with like the illo part, but that's also kind of the ILO from Smilodon. So you get dead and kilo. Then Entei is Netsulio. Netsu is Japanese for heat, because it's the fire type, and then Leo, like a lion. You get Netsulio, and then Suicune is Boreinu, like Aurora Borealis, because it's the Aurora Pokemon, and then Inu, which is Japanese for dog, so Boreinu. Larvitar is Durmound, because it's called, I believe it's called the rock skin Pokemon, so skin, that's also called the dermis. And then mound as in, like, mountain or something, because it's a rock type, and its dex entry in one of the games says that it eats mountains or something, so, yeah. Then Pupitar is Kaikun, as in Kaiju Cocoon. Kaiju is in, like, Godzilla, because it evolves into Tyranitar, which is essentially just Godzilla, and it's kind of like a cocoon. And then Tyranitar I called Zillamon, as in Godzilla and Kilimanjaro, because it's, it lives in the mountains or whatever, or has to do with mountains, and Kilimanjaro is a mountain. Lugia I called Toribus, which is from Tori, or I don't know how to pronounce that, but it's Japanese for bird, and Lugia is kind of a bird, and I just threw the word abyss in there because it's from the ocean, so Toribus, and then Ho-Oh follows that with the Tori, Japanese for bird thing, but adding bow to the end as in rainbow, because it's like the rainbow Pokemon, so Toribo. And then last but not least, this actually might be my favorite one, Celebi is now Travelery, because it kind of looks like a piece of celery. I'm pretty sure it's actually supposed to be an onion or something, but celery's close enough. And, it's a time traveler, so travel and celery just come together pretty well into Travelery. So yeah, there's the Johto decks, and next week or sometime around then, I will do Hoenn, and then all of the other regions, so yeah, look forward to that maybe. Anyway, thanks for watching this one.